Because I haven't had that much of a chance to get acquainted with the background, although I am somewhat familiar with you, and you work with Angel. When you were with Angel, did you ever come over here?
Oh yeah, we were like number 3 over here for a couple of years, third top group. Last time I was here, we played 2 nights at the Budokan. A lot bigger halls, bigger places. But it was a different type of band completely, Angel.
I seem to recall some of that. There was quite a bit of, you did have quite a bit of popularity over here for a while. I think it was probably because of the image of the band and whatnot.
Particularly it was much more pop-oriented. We had 99% females in the audience, where this, and they screamed the entire show. So this is a lot better. I enjoy this because people listening to the music and stuff.
Well, listening to the album, I guess the first impression I got was that you seem to spend a lot of time on your keyboard programming. The sounds you get are, it doesn't sound like a typical power pop group. It sounds more like your Larry Fast, guy who used to do Synergy, or a Thomas Dolby. Those kind of textures and whatnot. I take it you do spend a lot of time with your keyboard.
Yeah, I work with it a little bit because I've been doing it for so long. And a lot of the groups today, some of the keyboard players just go in and purchase keyboards in the store, and so they get the standard sounds. Or if they're into the heavy metal thing, it's just a mess, a little bit of a mess. I'm not knocking anybody, but they don't really devote enough time to it.
How about your own background? Maybe you could dwell.
Well, I started classical piano when I was 5, up until I was 15, and then heard the Beatles play, and I said, this is what I want to do, make money and have girls chase me. And then from there, just a series of different groups and stuff. And then first major group, I was with Michael Cimbello years ago, before Angel even, and been an Angel for a long time. And that was my first significant group. We sold 3 million records worldwide, and it was fairly big success here in Japan.
What type of thing were you doing with Michael Cimbello, just out of curiosity?
Keyboards.
But he was like more of a jazzy type back then.
Back then he was, this was back in 71. 70, 71.
He was in Philadelphia back then.
Atlanta actually.
Atlanta?
We were back and forth from Philadelphia and Atlanta.
Is that where you originally come from the South?
Dino and Cimbello was the band. It was his friend, I don't know if you remember that, all those names, but they called Dino and Cimbello.
What type of music were you doing?
Oh, it was Philadelphia style rock and roll, that Lieber and Stoller kind of stuff, productions.
Is that right?
Yeah, it was. A&M Records had called me and wanted to, put something together to take over playing keyboards with them. Well, matter of fact, I was playing with Dino and Cimbello when David Joseph and David Bowie's company, and people saw me playing, and they said, this guy's great. Call us if you put a group together. So I took their number down from London and said, yeah, right. Well, I actually did. I put Angel together, and I actually called them up, and they said, I put a band together called Angel. And I said, I'm going to make a decision on management this weekend. They flew over from London. They were there that Friday, and gave us a deal we couldn't miss.
Is that right?
Yeah, a fairy tale story how it got put together.
That's amazing. How did you end up going that kind of direction, the Angel direction?
It was a time when Kiss was around and all this, and so we were with Casablanca, and they had a lot of money to spend on that concept, and so where there's imagination and financing, something always could happen.
But I mean, how did you arrive at that musical style, though?
It was natural.
Just natural. You really love that kind of big hard rock,
big concert, concert rock.
Is that right?
Because I didn't the small. I think it's an art to make some music that can be transmitted to a lot of people in a large concert hall. In a nightclub, you can get away with murder. You can get away with a lot of things. You can just play and go into all sorts of things. But to take it out to the masses and make the guy in the row 200 understand, hear, and feel, and it work, then it's really something for life. But I do enjoy the studio. That's my most favorite thing to do.
That reminds me of what a fellow from Survivor told me the other day. He said, when they make music on stage, they want the guy in the last row to be able to feel the impact and the power.
And it's hard. A lot of bands just play for the guy in the front row. That guy's happy. He's in. He's sitting on the front row. The guy at the end of the hall is who you got to worry about.
I think your approach now to running the band is a lot different from the Angel days. Do you have a lot more control now than you had then?
Oh yeah.
Is that right? What type of situation was it? Casablanca sort of pulling the strings there and trying.
Oh yeah, completely. And plus the five egos in Angel were out of control. Just point blank, running wild in the streets. And Casablanca was, just really trying to tell us play this, go this, because they wanted to make us more pop sensations or marketable items, like the Kiss thing. Whereas this group was put together more on music, based on music, and I'm determined to do that. However, we are going into larger kind of concept shows next year.
Oh, really? Like what type of stuff do you have in mind?
I'm having a laser design that fits on my hand like a glove, kind of ties up at the wrist and has 5 beams that come out my fingertips. So I can take the beams and move them in and open them up. So it's weird. And they use photo cells on stage for explosions. When the laser hits the photo cell, it explodes. The G, our logo, the large G, it's going to be 20-something feet high, and it rises up from behind us and lights up and shoots beams out everywhere. And then just some special effects.
I would think you'll be headlining it.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, I hope the second album's going to be doing well enough to put us into that mark.
What kind of response did you get opening for like Foreigner, Deep Purple?
Phenomenal.
Is that right?
Absolutely phenomenal. I was shocked. I mean, because I'm used to, I was coming from Angel with headlining, and I had to back up 2 steps and get humble and start over and go, yeah, we'll play 45 minutes. Yes, okay, thank you. And I was shocked. Dan went over real well, very well, real well. I'm doing speaking Japanese.
You were doing about 30 minutes before, then 45 minutes. 45 minutes.
Yeah. Deep Purple we only did 30 because they kept cutting our set down until finally it was 27 minutes.
Is that right?
They wouldn't let us do a guitar solo nor play part of some of the songs on the album. It was very intimidating.
Is that right? Is that kind of standard though when you work with a big act?
No. Deep Purple's, well, when you're playing for people that are in wheelchairs and stuff, Deep Purple, they were so old. You can quote me on that. I despise them.
Is that right?
Yeah. I don't
you really
know
had a bad experience?
Yeah. Richie Blackmore is hilarious. I think he's funny. I find him funny. And I don't even think he's that good on the guitar anymore. Not like he used to be. But John Lord and Roger Glover and Ian Pace were very nice.
Is that right?
Yeah. But Ian Gillan and Richie Blackmore, hilarious, pathetic.
It was hard to fit.
They're afraid of, they're afraid of coming back, and now today Eddie Van Halen's and all those people, they're so much better on guitar. I mean, they just, it's like the turtle and the rabbit, and he was the rabbit, he sat under the tree too long.
I think actually Eddie Van Halen said something like that. He went to meet him once and tried to shake his hand, and Richie Blackmore just ignored him completely.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he said that guy just must hate my guts. And you obviously know why. I mean,
oh yeah.
He plays circles.
Yeah, but I think there's room for everybody musically, but when you take it to the point of personally and you insult people, I don't think that's nice. And I just think Richie's a miserable person, I guess, inside.
How about Foreigner? Were they
fabulous people, the best.
Is that right?
The best. Absolutely. Foreigner is one of my favorite bands.
Is that right?
Yeah. And one, I like their music. I like their songwriting, and I like their attitude. I think they're great. And when we got on their tour, they said, whatever, do what you want to do, play anything you want to play, kill them, go have fun. So it's just a difference between a secure band and an insecure band. Foreigner's very secure, very happy people, very positive, and Deep Purple were just, I don't know.
Do you learn much from Foreigner playing what's
Learned a lot from Foreigner.
Yeah, what kind of stuff?
Just learn that their attitude about things and songs, and one just being around them. I think success breeds success. So I was hoping that this thought would rub off, So, and I learned absolutely nothing from Deep Purple. Absolutely.
What not to do?
I learned what not to do and not how to act. Yeah, that was about it.
Do you still? I mean, you're already a seasoned veteran yourself, but do you still have like heroes in the music world? Guys you really?
Oh, Keith Emerson.
Is that right?
I think he's incredible. I don't know what he's doing these days, but he's been putting the band back together out here. But let's see, Jeff Beck. I think is phenomenal. A lot of different people, like Jan Hammer. I like a lot of people. It takes a lot to make me not to dislike somebody. And, like for me to say I despise Richie Blackmore, it means he really had to do a lot to me. He really did. Because I've been in it as long as he has practically. And I didn't let him get by with treating me like that. I just went, are you an idiot? I just ignored him. So, but I find him comical. I think he's right word. So you can print that.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. He's rude to everybody. I mean, the guys in Rat went up to him to say hello, and Stephen bends over to say how are you to Ian Gillan, and Ian goes, I won't say the word, but off, like that, and didn't even say hi to him or wouldn't shake his hand. Just complete rudeness, I wanted to get him 4 or 5 wheelchairs and put 4 cases of chapstick in each one for them kissing butt the whole time with Richie, but the record company told me I better not do that.
How was that arranged in the first place? Were you open for Purple and Purple?
They needed us on the show to help sell tickets.
You think so?
That's what the agency said. Well, that's what they said.
I can't say I think the case was Foreigner, though. I mean, there's
no, Foreigner, believe it or not, wanted to act like us on the show because they were playing a lot of ballads. They've had Waiting for a Girl Like You, I Want to Know What Love Is. And those don't draw a lot of people to concerts. Believe it or not. Yeah, kids want to come to hear rocking songs. So, no, Foreigner didn't need us. I would never be so presumptuous as to say that. I think Deep Purple did because the audience, they had their audiences, but we quit. We left their tour. We got fired the first night on Deep Purple tour.
Is that right?
Richie fired us the first night. And, he came out, I'll tell you the story quick. I don't want to do a whole smut thing in your magazine against Deep Purple, but Richie comes up to me and goes, God, Greg, great. Man, you've really been working hard. And, I've known him for 15 years, okay? And I go, thanks, Richie, thanks a lot. Goes up to his room, calls New York and said, fire him. So, I went, I can't believe this. I wanted to kill him. And so the managers and agents said, Richie, this isn't 10 years ago. You can't do that. They're under contract. We're paying them $250,000. You just don't do things like that today. The days are over when you act like that. And he goes, I don't care. He goes, I'll pick up the tab. I'll pay for it. Fire him. They go, we can't. It's impossible. So we compromised by he didn't want the guitar player to do a guitar solo. So we said, fine. The last night, since we signed the Foreigner papers, we said, I went in the dressing room, called him a bunch of names. And we went out on stage and played our set with a real long guitar solo. And I said, see you later, and it was really funny. Richie finally, though, the last night, he had to come up to our guitar player. And he pulled him aside and he goes, how do you do that? He asked him how, it's a new technique, something Richie hadn't learned how to play. And Richie said, how do you do that? And tried to make friends with him, but at that point we were just like, we went, yeah, see you later, and walked out.
Is that right?
Yeah, so I'll probably never even, it's funny I'm even talking about him, because I said I'd never even say his name, but, but to compare him to Foreigner's incredible. I would like to fashion myself more after them.
As with a lot of people.
Yeah.
Taking the clock back a little bit, what was behind your absence? I mean, you kind of disappeared from sight for several years.
Stress. Touring with Angel for 6 years, 200 shows a year. I didn't even know my name, practically. So I went to the French West Indies for almost a year and rested and just thought about things. I came back, put some projects together with Rudy Zarzo from Quiet Riot, who's now Quiet Riot. He's left Quiet Riot now. Yeah, Ricky Phillips and Fergie and Toto and the Babies and different bands, and nothing seemed to work. So, and then I put together this group.
And how did that come about?
Through auditions. I auditioned like 150 singers, and Dave was number 116. Then found the guitar player, and What? Does it really matter? The guitar player came from a band called Rough Cut in Los Angeles, and saw him play, and I thought he was great. You know, he was a nice guy, and I was looking for people who got along. You know, a band's like anything, a company or anything, it's people, and people have to get along, and chemistry and the magic. You know, because a lot of people are good players, but they lack that magical quality.
What did you find? Like, what were most people like that would keep you from having them join the band? What were some of the problems you encountered?
Attitudes mostly, personality, just being rude, and you know. I like people that are personal, easy going, because I'm real easy going. It takes so much to get me upset, you know, and I like being. That's why I like Japan a lot, believe it or not. I just tell you, people are polite to each other, and I like that, you know, and it should be like that all the way around the world. You know, every country should act like that.
Just out of curiosity, how are you auditioning guys? What did you have them do when they showed up?
Just sing some songs, you know, sing and talk, and just, you know, you can, stand up and come in there, just come in and sing something. You know, and then you can pretty much tell when someone opens their mouth. Sometimes guys wouldn't even make it through the song and go, no.
How did, like, the first rehearsal sessions go when you got the band together? Did it just go smoothly?
First of all, it was the three of us. It was Craig Goldie and Dave and myself. And it went real well. We were just working on some tunes and ideas. As a matter of fact, Dave and I wrote a song the first day.
Is that right?
Yeah, so we knew it worked. The chemistry was right.
I heard the vocalist used to play for the Giants minor league team.
San Francisco Giants.
The minor league team?
Yeah.
So the athletics out there.
Yeah. He's also a third-degree flag belt.
Is that right?
Yeah, he's an instructor too.
Huh.
So when we have fights or anything, we push Dave, come here.
You can act as the bodyguard as well.
Push Dave up front, yeah.
When we listen to your music, a lot of the names of a lot of bands came to mind. I'd be interested in like hearing what you think of them. I don't know that much about them, but maybe you could give a couple of comments on each. First of all, like New England. Were you very familiar with them?
I only know New England through Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons told me about them. But that's only, I didn't really hear their music.
How about Night Ranger?
Yeah, I know they're in the same label. Will we sound similar to them? Or
Just as I said, I think it sounds similar. There seem to be the same sort of.
I think maybe because of the keyboard guitar combinations and stuff.
What do you think of their music?
I like Night Ranger. I think they've gone a little bit commercial now, but you know, Sentimental Street, all those songs, the new album's a little commercial, but no, they're good. I like them. A lot. I don't know New England's music, but I do like Night Ranger.
How about Journey?
I like Journey. Yeah. Now, I don't have any of their albums and stuff. But I know the guys, but I don't. And I like them. You know, they're not my favorite band, but I like them. We were compared to them some because this vocalist sounds. He's got a wide range on his voice, and I think I would rather be compared to Journey than say Quiet Riot. So.
I don't understand why anybody would compare to Quiet Riot.
No, I'm saying I would rather be if I had to be compared. You know, I mean, if I had to live with a comparison, God, if somebody compared us to Quiet Riot, I'd jump out the window. You know. Okay, well, I'll scratch that one then. I'm a Survivor. You have Quiet Riot.
No, that's what I said. I boggled my mind there for a second. Survivor.
That's interesting. Maybe
the new Survivor, not the
old Survivor. Yeah, the clarity in things. Maybe. Yeah. I like Survivor. I don't do it like them. Yeah, I know them real well.
Well, you must know a lot of people.
Well, I live in L.A., so those guys are... Matter of fact, the lead singer's best friend is Steph Ellis, the bass player, and I know him real well. Yeah. Very well, matter of fact.
And you mentioned...
They hang out together sometimes.
Oh, they're right.
Yeah.
And you mentioned something about doing something with the Babies. Before I got in between Angel and...
Yeah, Ricky Phillips from the Babies. Yeah, was...
That was another guy that came to mind.
He played bass for me for a while.
Is that right?
Yeah. So I know those guys for a while. Matter of fact, we had the same softball teams.
You guys play softball together.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, Toto, Journey, some of the guys from the Babies, Pat Benatar, and Giuffria.
I imagine your vocalist does quite well when he gets out in the ball.
He hogs the show, as they say.
You had this experience like an Angel, like being, tampered with by the record company. Have you been using that experience this time? I mean, I talked a second ago about having more independence now.
Yeah.
Do you think that makes a difference? Having that
Yeah, I
experience
think they're aware of the fact that I've been through that, so they don't do too much to me. They know where to draw the line.
Do you have complete autonomy then?
No.
Oh, you don't?
No, it's all a mutual thing. I'd say the band's called Giuffria, but it is a band, and it's all, we try to keep it a mutual thing, but I do, I speak up the most and got the biggest mouth, so no. I have control of the way it goes, in that sense of it. But the record company is always putting their direction. They control the money, so I have to print that part.
The Angel is burning my mind because at the time the record company was trying to feature like Kiss as the Devils and Angel as the Angels.
Oh, the good and the evil,
good and evil
black and the white. Yeah. That, funny enough, we never played together.
Is that right?
No, Kiss, Gene and Paul wouldn't let us play with them. I never did a show together.
Is that right?
Yeah.
They were insecure, you think?
Well, yeah, because they wore makeup and covered their faces, and so when we went out together, we were always recognized, and they would always, people would always go, "Excuse me," and they'd push Paul out of the way to get to us, and they hated that. It was just, it was just a million different things. So.
Well, you used to be all the girls, but who's listening to your music now? I think it's more of a
wider variety of people, which I
still the
prefer.
kids.
Yeah, I prefer the wider listening audience now than what Angel had. Because it was just, we could barely finish our songs or even hear ourselves playing as loud as we were with the girls screaming continuously. The song, when a song would go to a low spot in the song, you couldn't hear what you were playing.
I imagine like when you're younger, in your 20s and you're in a band that's big, you probably think to yourself,
I'm still in my early 20s, so I don't know what you're referring to.
You probably think you're going to do it for the rest of your life or something, but at this stage in your life, I would imagine you tend to think of things more in segments.
Yeah.
And what sort of a commitment do you have in mind for this band?
I'm going to take this one to the limit. I'll take it on the full.
As big as it can go.
Big as it can go. 10 albums. I mean, whatever. We're signed for 8 albums, so I'd like to do all of that. And then later on, I'll become a professional golfer. I play golf.
Is that right?
Yeah, in the seniors division. I guess I'll play golf in the seniors there.
But pretty much the music is a lifetime thing, though.
Yeah, in one capacity or the other, whether it's producing on different segments, I like the production end of it.
How do you think you've grown? It's been as a musician, do you feel yourself getting a lot better or just getting a lot smarter?
That's a good question. A lot smarter, I have to say, because if you're getting a lot smarter, you know what not to play and what to play. And I think the trick is what you don't play. Because a lot of people, when you first start, you just want to play everything and just overplay. And I think that applies to production too. It's not what you put in, it's what you leave out and take out.
I imagine you counsel the other members of the band a lot because they're still...
To a degree, but it's kind of tricky to do. It's hard to do that in situations like this. But I mean, yeah, I do. They look to me for some situations. Experience,
What's been the best thing about the band so far? Well, what have you liked the most about
this group?
Yeah, your new group.
Personally, I like the musical direction is. I'd have to say musical direction. I enjoy that and stuff. And we don't have the egos, the problems that we had in Angel that were constantly affecting the music. Like, oh no, I'm not going to write this with you, or this guy would be over in this corner writing a song, the two guys over here in this corner writing a song, and they'd argue about what was going to go on the album, what wasn't going to go. And on this, it's more just Dave and I kind of write. So I get more of a personal gratification out of it.
What have been the trials and tribulations? Any problems so far? Frustrations?
There always are, just in launching a new project, because everyone is curious, and they're eyeing you with pretty hard intent, It's like if you make a mistake, they're right there to crucify you a little bit. So the critics were a bit tough on us, They still, like I said, they got back to comparing us to Journey all the time, but then, like I said back to them, thank you. I'd rather be compared to Journey than, Quiet Riot. So.
The critics always seem to take umbrage at bands that they label as industrial rock,
Yeah.
or whatever they call it, corporate rock.
Corporate rock, which Foreigner is the head of. If there was such a thing as corporate rock, then they would be seated at the end of the table as chairman of the board, I think. Which, more power to them. I like that. I think that the people who say that, first of all, critics, I don't even acknowledge their existence anyway. Critics. I mean, it's like, if I had to just get up tomorrow morning and go analyze swimmers in a swim meet. I mean, I don't know anything about it, and I would be going, well, this guy's got poor form, and even though he won the race, he just won the race because it's corporate, and he won the race because, they know nothing about music, absolutely nothing. So to me, it's just like wind in the air.
Have you gotten good feedback from critics?
I don't believe the good ones. When I read the good ones, I don't believe the bad ones. Because that's the worst thing you can do. If you only read the good ones, you start believing your own publicity. So I just kind of read them and go, I like the bad ones the best, because I like to hear the funny things that they say. Somebody once told me that I sounded like a out-of-tune Rick Wakeman. Oh, it's about the lowest punch you could get. So that's kind of funny. The good ones, when people like us, yeah, that's fine. But I don't want them to think that I'm going to go out and just read the good ones and go, oh, boy, man, we're great. Because there's people out there that might not say that. But I think critics who take unnecessary shots at people, whether it's anybody, whether it's us or other bands. I actually heard a critic say that Keith Emerson sounded like Black Sabbath on a song one time, and I had to call the guy out and just rail on him, So I have favorite people, There's this guy in L.A. who I can't stand, Robert Hilburn.
Oh yeah, he's pretentious.
No, all he does is he writes words just to hear himself, think. I guess Yeah, Charlie George.
Treat the world to his wonderful prose.
He's a complete moron.
Yeah,
complete.
Yeah, that's.
Everyone in LA thinks it's hilarious. I mean, I don't know if he's going to last much longer at the LA Times too, because they're getting a hate mail now, and by the bushel loads, and so they're having a problem.
Actually, I remember the Go-Go's wrote a song called Robert Hilburn.
Yeah.
They lambasted him in melody there.
Yeah.
What about your personal life? Back when you were an Angel, like how does it compare to your personal life now? Has it changed a lot?
It's more my personal life. I'm working a lot. I mean, on this project, it takes up a lot of time because there's more to do. I was being told what to do a lot in some instances, whereas now I'm trying a little bit more sitting in the driver's seat of where it's going. So it consumes a little more time. But I still try to get out and play golf and. I have a boat and stuff.
Back then, I mean, was it what everybody thinks it might have been?
Yes.
It was.
Just like what you think it.
Just like this. Lots of partying, lots of groupies.
Pandemonium. Especially in Japan, it was just amazing the last time. I was injured at the airport last time too. I had 2 spots on my hair pulled out on the right side. Drugged 50 feet by girls. It was unreal. And clawed and ripped apart.
Excuse my ignorance, but you're the only one who survived intact of the members of Angel? What are the rest of the guys up to? Do you know?
They're florists in Los Angeles. No, I don't know. One works in a bakery. No, I don't keep up with them.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, we just kind of, we split. Yeah.
That's it. They're not involved in music, you don't think?
Water sports, I think. No, I really don't know. I don't know. I really don't know.
How about the music?
I hope they're cursed with answering questions about me.
Just as you are about them.
Right.
What about music now? I mean, I would imagine when you start up a project like this, you don't have really time to pay much attention to other stuff. Or do you? Do you pay much attention?
That's a real good question too. You're answering good questions. I've made it a commitment to myself. It's not to listen to too much. I keep a little bit. I kind of look around, and it's like crossing a street. I don't go and analyze each car. I know it's a car coming, so I kind of just look before I go across. So in writing, if I listen to one thing too much, it may affect me in my writing. Wow, this song sounds great. It sounds just like, if you listen to, I have a good musical memory, so I try to just listen and see what's going on. I don't want to be like everybody else.
What, do you listen to the radio or do you buy records?
Yeah, I listen to radio. No, I don't buy records.
You have somebody from the record company bring stuff over? And
No, I listen to radio a lot, but I don't buy that many records.
AM, FM?
FM, yeah, and I scan all the stations.
Like everybody else?
Yeah, just like
punch, yeah.
My buttons are all worn down. And there's some bands that I like that I'll acknowledge and things, but I don't.
For example, what are some of your favorites?
Well, I like Foreigner. I thought Don Henley was great. I think Bryan Adams is real good right now. I like very good songs. Those are all corporate rock things, but let's see. I'm anxiously awaiting anything Jeff Beck might come out with.
He just did.
That thing, yeah, I haven't heard it yet.
Yeah, it's like the single.
The single. Oh, yeah, he came out with the single with Rod singing on it.
Yeah,
I heard that.
Ready.
I was listening to there's more of his instrumental things, like Blow by Blow and There and Back. Those are really influenced me a lot. Those records, and I'm curious to see what Mr. Emerson's going to do.
He did a couple of soundtracks there.
Yeah, he's done those, but he's got ELP is back together now.
Yeah, he's getting, I think,
Cozy Powell.
Cozy Powell, that's right. That's right. Just about to wind us up in a minute.
Okay.
What about all these, the youngsters in L.A. now? They have the Paisley Underground and, your punk, country punk rather.
Yeah, like Lone Justice.
Yeah, or do you get involved in that stuff at all? Or?
No, we just have them on one city block in L.A. and I drive by and look at them sometimes, but that's about it. I definitely not. I guess to each his own. I mean, L.A., New York, one little section in Tokyo and London, you have those things. But you go to Kansas or St. Louis or Chicago, they want their money's worth in a concert. You pay $15 to see a ticket. They want to see boom, bam, sock, knock 'em out, here comes rock and roll. They don't want to see some, Palmer up there in whatever, Paisley or something. I mean, kind of, I mean, there might be some stuff, but no, I don't even see it that much now. I mean, I know it exists.
You seem like you'd be a discriminating consumer as well. And you say you don't buy records. Is there any record you would be willing?
Oh yeah, no, I don't buy it because I don't buy them. Like I said, if I'm writing, I'm more of a recluse. So I really don't want to be influenced by it, because if I buy things, I tend to play it all the time, and
that'll end up as...
It's quite ironical. I mean, my stereo system is just dreadful. And it really is. I really don't even have a turntable, honestly. I don't have a turntable right now. I got to buy a turntable. Because I'm always on the go. I have millions of different cassette players with, every one made practically. I have this one at home. I have this one, also that size. I have one of everything on that size. But I don't even have a stereo system. I have to buy one.
No, you could always take along the tapes to sound checks and listen to them.
Yeah. Okay. Well, any final question? Did you have one?
No, that was it.
Yeah. Well, just a message to the magazine. Thanks for the interview, and that. One message from myself and Giuffria that we plan to be around for a long time, and we're coming back to Japan the first of next year, sometime in the first of next year, 3 months after the album's out or so, and that we'll be around for a while.
All right. Very good.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you for your time.
Thanks.
Yeah, nice meeting you.
Yeah. Good.